Hello, golden butterflies. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to discuss Sins of Our Mother on Netflix. And it is a true crime story documentary about Lori Vallow Daybell and the whereabouts of her children. So, the series begins with telling us about Lori and she, the way she grew up. She was a very conventionally beautiful girl, cheerleader, popular, all that great stuff, right? So she gets married. She has a few marriages, as a matter of fact, 5 to be precise. When I did some research on this case before getting on here and discussing it with you guys, I noticed that her full name is Lori Cox Yanes Langoria Ryan Vallow Daybell. Okay, so I was like, oh my gosh, they're so shady. But she had 5 husbands, and in addition to her 2 children being missing, which is JJ Vallow, I believe she had JJ and Tylee Ryan. They were from her either second and third marriage or third and fourth marriage. So don't quote me on that. But she would, fall in love with these men and get divorced until she came across Chad Daybell. So let me back up a little bit. Okay, so there were a string of suspicious deaths even before she met Chad. So her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, who was the father of JJ Vallow, was shot and killed by Lori's brother, Alexander Cox, who claims it was self-defense. And her brother died of a blood clot on December 12th, 2019. And Charles Vallow, his previous wife before he got married to Lori, she died. She was attacked in the driveway by someone shooting a defective paintball gun. It is it's crazy the way that all these mysterious deaths are surrounding these 2. But the man on the left is Chad Daybell, Lori's 5th husband. And this man here had some really outlandish beliefs, okay? So basically, he brainwashed. I'm going to assume brainwashed. So Lori grew up a part of the Mormon LSD church where they had like multiple wives, and that was part of the religion. So I guess her being married 5 times wasn't as big of a cultural faux pas as it would be for most conventional people who, typically look at marriage as one man, one woman, or one, for you have one spouse for life, basically. But Chad had some really his religious beliefs were further skewed than the contemporary Mormonism LSD church. By the end of it, he convinced Lori, or maybe she believed it all along, who knows, that her children, JJ and Tylee, were zombies. and that he had this whole like ranking system where he was it was like really arbitrarily would color code people, them being like a level of good and evil. And obviously this man had a god complex, so that's, you know, but I just, I mean, I was trying to follow along. It's not that long. It's only like 3 episodes. But I couldn't fully grasp how she could essentially murder her children. But they interviewed her cellmate who was in jail with her and got out before her. And she said that Lori was very superficial and she was all about, men, and she would primp and prime and always refer to her husbands. Like she looked in the mirror and said, I wonder if this, referencing herself in her frame, was worth $1,000,000 because that was her bail. So even looking at this picture, that big Kool-Aid smile in the back of that cruiser, when her 2 children were dead, because, she was in Hawaii with Chad, her 5th husband, and a lot of reporters and people were asking her, where are your children? Are you concerned about them missing? And she knew, of course, all along where her 2 children were. But, I mean, they were married 2 weeks after Chad's wife died. Quote, I mean, I don't, they dug up her remains, but the case is ongoing. The sentencing is ongoing. It's a lot. It is a lot. So February 2020, Lori Daybell was arrested. February 20th, 2020. Yeah. She was charged with 2 felony counts of desertion and non-support of dependent children. And the judge, initially she was on $5 million bail. The judge lowered it to $1 million bail, which is why she was in the mirror. Like, I wonder if this is worth $1 million. All it is. But it's sad because on May 25th, 2021, Chad and Lori were both indicted on the charge of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. They were also charged with first-degree murder and grand theft by deception for the deaths of their 2 children, Tylee and JJ. Oh, and his ex-wife, Tammy. Okay, so they did charge them with killing Tammy, too. So they were a regular Bonnie and Clyde out here. Yeah. So, and Chad was also charged with insurance fraud related to the life insurance policy that he had on his wife that he killed, Tammy Daybell, for which he was the beneficiary and received funds after her death. Okay. So, my heart goes out to those poor babies because they didn't deserve that. Like I said, I don't know Lori's mental state. They interviewed her mom, and she says, I thought that Lori knew where they were. I didn't think that they were missing. So her mom taught Lori, and I think a lot of people, a lot of women, like in that specific era, focused on being a woman that was like pleasing to a man. You know what I mean? Her mom was really like hyper focused on her looks, that, aesthetic, superficiality, gaining and keeping a man, and just getting that external validation from men. And I feel like she passed those values on to Lori, who unfortunately didn't value being a mother over being a trophy wife to, unfortunately, her 5th husband, who got her locked up. Or I shouldn't even say he got her locked up, but she accepted what he was saying about her children being zombies and that they needed to die. And it was sad because as their mother, it was her duty to protect them, but she didn't. She was living for herself. And, Chad killed his first wife, got married to Lori 2 weeks later. They killed the two babies. And I guess they thought they were going to live happily ever after in Hawaii. I mean, her brother died, Lori's brother died. It's crazy. All those deaths surrounding these two people, they need to be, they need to be locked up because they are a danger, not only to themselves, but to the society at large. So if you guys, have some time, check it out. Let me know what you thought, what your thoughts are regarding this. It is a lot. It's a lot. Her trial has been suspended due to competency concerns. So they're saying that she's incompetent. That's interesting. In November 15th, just a few days ago, 2022, they ruled that she was competent. So her lawyers were trying to say that she was incompetent. I guess that she was like brainwashed or mentally unfit, but the judge ruled that she was a couple days ago to stand trial. A new trial has not been scheduled yet, but when it is scheduled, I'll give you guys the updates. So, all right, you guys enjoy your weekend. Drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk with you beautiful people later. Bye.